The unintended consequences. Israeli airstrike in Gaza challenges legal and ethical boundaries. In a dramatic and troubling event, the Israeli military employed a hefty 500-pound, 230 kilograms bomb, an all-too-powerful explosive known for its widespread impact and potential for significant collateral damage, during an assault on a bustling built-front cafe in Gaza, according to investigative findings published by The Guardian. This incident has raised significant concerns among experts in international law. They argue that deploying such a weapon in an area crowded with civilians, including vulnerable groups like children, women, and the elderly, might be deemed illegal and could potentially be considered a violation of international war crime standards. Photographs of the destroyed Al-Baqa Cafe have revealed fragments identified as components of the NK-82 bomb, a staple in numerous past bombing campaigns. The extensive crater left by the explosion further corroborates that a large, powerful bomb was indeed used, according to two ordnance experts. An IDF, Israel Defense Forces, spokesperson mentioned that the situation is under careful review and that they had made efforts to minimize civilian casualties using aerial surveillance prior to the strike. Officials reported a tragic toll. Between 24 and 36 Palestinians were killed and many others were injured. Among the deceased were a prominent filmmaker, an artist, and a young housewife who was only 35, along with a 4-year-old child. The injured included a 12-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. According to the principles outlined in the Geneva Conventions, targeting a situation where the loss of civilian life becomes substantial or undue in relation to the military advantage achieved is strictly forbidden. The definition of what constitutes a permissible attack continues to be a topic of debate among legal experts, who emphasize that only the most critical military targets should justify such considerable civilian casualties. The two-story Al-Baqa Cafe, famous among Gaza's residents for its leisurely ambiance and simple offering, stood at the seafront, an area not included in IDF evacuation alerts ahead of military actions. This raises a pressing question. Should the principles of proportionality and discrimination in conflict extend to include places of social gathering? Jerry Sensen from Human Rights Watch points out the Israeli military has not clarified its specific target. Yet it is clear that the use of significant aerial ordnance, despite the crowded nature of the cafe, implies potential violations of international law. Dr. Andrew Ford emphasizes the gravity of using heavy munitions in densely populated areas. No matter how precise the targeting, the outcome becomes indiscriminate in such scenarios, clearly contradicting the Geneva Conventions. Al-Baqa Cafe, a cherished gathering place for nearly 4 decades, is part of the larger narrative of Gaza, where many struggle daily with food scarcity and economic hardship. Even so, some community members have the means to relish the remaining social hubs. Mark Schock, an associate professor of international law, questions the justification for deploying such heavy military ordnance. For coalition forces in Afghanistan and Iraq, a very high-level target typically necessitated the loss of fewer than 30 civilians, only under extraordinary circumstances. What are your thoughts on the use of large-scale munitions in such scenarios? Does this strategic approach uphold the principles of international law? Share your views in the comments below.